Welcome to Reese Photography Training Sessions. In a very short 3 years as a full-time photographer and cinematographer, my work has been published in magazines to billboards. I've served as a director of photography for commercials to feature films. Whether your interest is digital photography or HD video, my goal is to make sure you have creative control over the outcome of the project, one shoot at a time. Let's create some magic. Welcome to the very first episode of Reese Photography's training session. So you want to be a photographer, huh? Well, guess what? I'm here to help you. Well, first thing first, as a photographer, you have to know how to control the light. There are 3 elements that will put you in creative control over every shoot that you have. That's knowing how to control the aperture, the shutter speed, and the ISO. Today, let's talk about the aperture. So what is aperture and how do you find that on your camera? First of all, the aperture is listed here on my camera. This is the Mark II, the 5D Mark II. And right now my aperture is at 2.8. How do you change that? On my camera, the roll dial here is what changes the aperture. So as you can see, as I roll this dial, the aperture is going up 5.6, 6.3, 7.1, 8.0, 9.0. Now, how does that translate to you in being able to take photos controlling this? With aperture, what you want to realize is that the higher this number, the more the opening of your lens is actually closing down. Like the lens is pretty wide, but the higher this number goes, the smaller the hole is going to become, meaning that you're going to need more light to take a photo at a higher aperture. Let's just say you was outside in the broad daylight. You're probably going to need an aperture at least 9 or 10 in order to get a good exposure, because anything less than that, it's a good possibility that it's going to be, the sun is going to be too bright and you're not going to be able to see the subject. On the flip side of that, if it was heading towards the evening time around 7 p.m. during the evening and the light is going down pretty low, you want to take your aperture down maybe the lowest you can get it, because with it down at 2.8, that's actually opening up the lens, letting in more light so that you can pull whatever light that's left from the day so that you can get a good exposure. Aperture also controls how much of your subject is in focus. If you're shooting at a 2.8, and let's just say you were taking a picture of a plant at 2.8 outside, because your aperture is so low, like your depth of field is going to be very, very shallow, meaning that whatever you focus on, if you focus on just that plant, your plant is going to be in focus and some of the objects around that may be out of focus. The higher the number, of course, the lens is closing down almost like a pinhole, but the more in focus your subject is going to be. So if you want to take a picture of a big field and you want everything to be in good focus, the higher this number, the better off you're going to be as far as trying to capture that.